today, but I don't do the mask thing very well, and our bishop, I mean, he's lightened some restrictions, but it's pretty much anyway. And I don't like having to breathe through the masks because my lungs, And anyway, I want to talk a little bit about what's going on, rumors. We've talked about these before, but maybe a refresher course, I think, is in order. Anyway, we got this covered. Maze pointed this out to me. Hey, Dave, just now we got this covered, which is a bullshit site. But considering everything else we've heard, it is worth mentioning. Howdy, Mad Piranha. Hi, guys. Wow, look at this. Awesome. Great. I love seeing you guys. Anyway, basically said Lucasfilm is trying to get Harrison Ford, hey, MK47, and Mark Hamill back for Star Wars. Remember the cliche, because it's true. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. But with everything else we've heard, I wouldn't be surprised if Jon Favreau was putting the feels out to see where they are. I mean, when Harrison Ford said, what was it, last year, you got to give the fans what they want, he had to have known that even TFA sucked. Okay, it wasn't going to be. All right, let's say like this is true. Let's hypothetically. I would say they'd probably have to pay him a good $10-15 million. All right. I would say that, and I'm going to tell you something. If you go back to the 1980s and you see how much he was making per movie, that's actually a price cut. Okay, that's actually a cut. But, actors really, I don't think, make as much per movie as they used to. Like, you remember the movie Notting Hill? I just saw it when Julia Roberts is talking to the idiot stockbroker who asked her, "Well, so how much do you make?" And she said, my last movie, I made $22 million. That's that's a lot of money. And these guys, back in the day, back in the 80s and 90s, Harrison Ford was the highest priced and the highest paid actor in the world. And yeah, I think he did. I think that Mark, I don't know what this means. I don't think you could do live action unless you did, and hypothetically, oh, I do too, Piranha. I'm hoping for the best. I would assume you could do something if you're going to go live action that Leia died, that she was already gone. That would make sense. Or do deep fake Carrie, like they've been doing. Look, that rough copy that JJ showed, the suits that Kathy took a big dump on, it probably is very interesting with that. Probably has that. But there was no way she was going to give us what she wants, what we want, because she hates our guts. Okay, part of the reason why the movies started to be so bad is because she knew what we wanted. Oh, I sent a Dave and was like, "Fuck you, you're not going to get it. You're going to get mine and you're going to like it." But this is just really interesting. I kind of look at it and go, and I'm going to be really honest right now. I went and tried to listen to the Rebel Force Radio podcast, and because there's a rumor out there that they're going to retcon part of Tross, and it's probably one of the old rumors that we've been talking about, but it was so everywhere, and they really didn't try to be professional here. It was like they were bored. I quit listening after 5 minutes. Oh yeah, I hate her. I hate her. I mean, I think I'm probably the one person in the whole world. You probably hate her, but I hate her more. Okay, that we could actually have a contest. How much do you hate Kathy Kennedy? And I would win. She's one of those people that if I was out to dinner or lunch and I saw her, I'd have to, you know what I would do? I'd send a bottle of champagne to her saying, "Congratulations on your retirement." I would do that. It'd be so fucking insulting. You know, and she's trying to figure out who sent it, and she sees a bunch of fans going, you know, I mean, that's how much we hate her. Okay, and that's true. In fact, I was going through YouTube today, and I found an interview, BTS interviews of Benedict Cumberbatch and Tom Hiddleston from Warhorse. They were both in Warhorse. And you see Hiddleston standing there, and in the background, Kathy, and I'm like, she's everywhere. The fucking bitch is everywhere. Maze and I were thinking we should do a music video, get her in every background shot we can find, and then do the video to "Sympathy for the Devil." And I'm like, but I don't want to use the Stones version, and I hate the Guns N' Roses version with the Purple Passion because I hate Axl. But damn, Motorhead's got a good one, and oh, I forget who else, but Ozzy Osbourne does. I think Ozzy would be pretty good. Ozzy's is actually pretty good too. So I'm gonna try to think about that, and then try to figure out how much time I'm gonna dedicate to it before I put something like that together, because we could actually do. I wonder if there's like BTS, and then get Pablo and do it too. That would be really funny. I mean, that would just be God. Anyway, very quiet week. The weirdos. Let's see. Just a second. I'll be right back. Now I had to get a drink. This is called Zero Added Sugar Nordic Berry. It has 10 calories. We'll see what it tastes like. It probably tastes like, oh shit. Like, yeah. Well, at least it was on the, ooh, we don't want that. That was fun. I just spilled soda all over. At least I hit the mat and not, I've got a nice mat here on my lovely counter to save from spills when I'm sitting here doing stuff, because I like my office, but I like working in the that you're lucky I didn't start swearing and screaming, because right now I'm thinking it. You guys don't want to hear what I'm thinking. Anyway, gonna have to wash this anyway. Well, I have it all over my hands. I could have just licked my hand. Tastes like the wild berry from Giant. Anyway, so I haven't really noticed or seen any weird tweets, but I also haven't looked today. It's just, it's been a really boring day, so let's see what we can find. Actually, Disney got nailed in the Orlando Sentinel today, and apparently James Gunn went off on the guy for yelling about the wokeness going on, and everybody on YouTube has been attacking Gunn. James Gunn is to be honest, he's a fuckstick. Okay, I'm going to use a Marine Corps term. He is a fuckstick. He is a bad person. I think he's probably a pedophile. And I'm sure that the woke assholes at, Lucasfilm think that, he's just expressing his sexuality. You know, I seem to remember, of all people, Barbara Streisand saying that, and everyone going, she turned 79 today. Or 80. Was it? I can't remember. All I remember is I was going through some pictures of from last week when after Prince Philip died, and I saw a picture of her as a younger woman, and she was all over Charles, all over a very young 20-year-old Prince Charles, and I was so grossed out. I'm like, two of the ugliest people on the planet, and you got, and she wins. She wins that. She wins that hands down. I mean, she really does. It's just, but you could just, her nose. Well, we weren't going to hear that. If Doomcock hears about it, if he did hear, if they were, he hasn't said anything. So if anybody else has heard about it, they haven't said anything. So, it's just one of those things where we got to sit around and wait. Okay, Twitter. All right, let's see. Matt Martin first. Twitter. Matt Martin. Matt Martin. Well, here he is. Okay, so he was on an hour ago. Okay, let's look up. Oh, he's talking to two pieces of shit here. Let's look. Phil Stozak. This guy right here is a total dickwad, and she is a fucking bitch too. So, wow, Maddie. So let's see. So he was on an hour ago, but these are the only two tweets. So let's see what they were talking about, shall we? Oh, I bet you they're talking to concept art ideas do not equal plans or cancel plans. $1,000 said they were talking about Mike Zero. Okay, so anyway, very interesting though that these guys, yeah, and these are old. He was replying to some very old tweets. He hasn't been on much at all. So let's do. Man, Ray, Sky. Oh, Pablo, you're such a dick. So they went to a museum, only two. All right, there was one tweet I want to see you guys. Oh, she's attacking people big time. There's a tweet I want to show you guys. Okay, let's go find it. Okay. April 17th. Let's see this. Look at these fuckers. You know what? I'm going to turn her into a thing, okay? Let's see if I can find any pictures of her. Ah, ah, ah. All right, Kristen Hidalgo. Kristen Hidalgo. Oh, here we go. Disney Star Wars is dumb. Kristen Hidalgo publishing. Here we go. She's the localization coordinator for Lucasfilm. And now please ask me, somebody explain to me, what the fuck Lucasfilm needs a localization coordinator for? Everybody gather around. Let's talk about this, because as someone who's pragmatic, I don't see the point. This is a waste of money. She's on LinkedIn. Okay. So I wonder when her birthday is. Oh, she's a cross-disciplined events project manager and producer with over 5 years of increasing authority and achievement at internationally recognized brands and corporations. Oh, I love it. Now look at this. This is funny. She's attacking fans for their age, and then this. So she's been there 5 years, since September 2015. No, actually, she's been there since 2009. Why do they need this? Why do they need a localist? I don't get it. What's the point? I'm okay. Anyway. Oh, I'm going to have fun with her, because I'm going to take that tweet and I'm going to run her into the ground, because I'm going to take that article and I'm going to read it. Now, she liked it, but then she's doing this. Now, I want you guys to do something. If you're on Twitter and you see the video, let her read it. Let her see it. And the reason why is I want to piss them off. Okay. Not tweeting very much, are they? At least those two. 2 tweets. I'm going to say that that rumor about the phones is correct. I'm going to say, in fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get a screenshot of that tweet, and I'm going to send it to Chapek and Iger. And I'm going to say, yeah, age discrimination now from your employees. Because remember, they don't work for Lucasfilm. They work for Disney. Disney's the Uber Corporation. Remember what Pablo called them? The mother corp. All right, the mother company. All right. You know, I mean, Kristen Hidalgo, I wonder when her birthday is. Because I know when her husband's is. Oh, God, she went to... she's a masshole. She's an asshole. I would say she's probably about 45. Her husband's going to be 48 in October, and they're attacking people for being over 45. Okay. Okay, fine. Okay. Wow, there's a lot of people here. Let's see. Senior Manager, Franchise Marketing, Lucasfilm. Emily Nerviani. Cody Vandenberg, Associate Production, Post-Production Supervisor. God, they all look like a bunch of assholes. I'm trying to see if I see any more. Oh, here's one. Kylie Potuznik, PR Communications at Lucasfilm Limited. Sunnyvale, California. Manhattan Beach, California. These guys live everywhere. Steve Blank. Oh, goody. You put your pronouns on LinkedIn. He, him. I'm so proud of you for being so fucking woke, you loser. I'd fire his ass just because. Director of Franchise Content and Strategy at Lucasfilm. You're fired. Just for that alone. Yeah, these, I mean, I'm on LinkedIn. I've got a Prime membership. I wonder what she'd think if I sent her a message saying, I found a tweet of yours attacking older fans of Star Wars, and then I see that you like this article. Care to explain yourself? Yeah, stunning. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. This is interesting. She did that 2 days ago. She said that 2 days ago. I would say she thinks she's probably not one of the people that are going to get fired. But I would say anybody that said shit. I mean, she attacked an autistic kid. I'll check that out too. Maybe I'll get the tweets. But she fucked with me hard on Twitter. All right, and I don't forget that. Yeah, I don't. All right, here's the deal. I don't carry grudges. I carry grudges now at those two, her and her husband, okay, and Matt Martin, okay. And the reason why is they have treated us, the fans, like shit, and they need to go away. They need to be fired. Get woke, go broke. When that guy who takes his kids to Disneyland is like, I don't feel like I'm in Disneyland anymore. And then James Gunn, the piece of shit, dares to attack him. It's like, James, here's the deal. You want to make money? Yeah. How do you make money? You give the people what they want. People don't want to see that. They'll still come to my movies. Have you noticed the box office? Before COVID. Okay? Have you? No, they don't want to go to your movies. They're not going to the movies anymore. In fact, when I hear about movies like Guardians of the Galaxy making a lot of money, I think back and think probably not as much as they would have back in the day. We're talking about inflation. All right. Very rarely does a movie sell out anymore. The Force Awakens did. TLJ for the first few days did, and then they couldn't get people to come in if they begged them to. Tross, Solo, it's like, but go ahead and yell at the audience because, I'm gonna go see Top Gun Maverick. Yeah, I am. I'm gonna see that. I'm gonna see Ghostbusters 3. I can't wait to see Bill Murray. Oh my God. He's my spirit animal. I think he's one of the funniest human beings on the planet. I mean, that whole scene in the beginning of Ghostbusters where they go into the basement of the library and they're sneaking through and they find the goo and all the card catalog everywhere and books stacked in weird ways and they're like, you know, and Egon hands Venkman a dish and says, "Here, give me some samples." And Bill Murray goes, "Someone blew their nose and you want to keep it?" And he's like, "Ugh, ugh, ugh." That was so fun. The way he did it is just, it's hilarious. It's looking at me, Ray. You know, just, and then it comes at him, he's like, ah. That's that Ghostbusters, the first one, is literally one of the most fun times I have had at a movie theater. You got, here's your mucus. See? That shit's funny. Okay. Ghostbusters 1 is one of the funnest times I've ever had at a movie theater outside of Star Wars or Indiana Jones. I'm not kidding. That movie, even Ghostbusters 2, was awesome. And I think the reason why is because the cast, I mean, Murray and Aykroyd and God rest his soul, Harold Ramis, God rest his soul, you know, just, they were phenomenal. They really were. And now we're going to have Ernie Hudson back. And I actually think Rick Moranis is coming back, I've heard. And Janine, oh my God, Annie Potts. It's just, I mean, guys, this is just, so I can't wait to see that. In fact, he can hear you, Ray. I mean, that was, you know who Slimer reminds me of? My dog when he doesn't listen. That's what he reminds me of Kojak. It's like, you know, today he kept begging to go outside, so I let him out. We play, go run around outside, come back in. 20 minutes later, he wants to be outside. And we got chased off the deck by a big black wasp, like that big. Oh God, that would be funny. He just walks in. You know, when my husband retired from the Marine Corps, I almost called up his hotline and said, if you are in the Washington, D.C. area for any reason, I want to invite you to my husband's retirement ceremony and party. And if he had been, if Bill Murray had been in town, I would have had him come. And the reason is this: that would have been like, he would have walked in, people would have been like, but I thought, you know, I mean, that would have been more for me than my husband, and I wouldn't have done that just because of that. But I mean, I would have invited Clint Eastwood to that, or God, Sylvester Stallone, you know, or yeah, one of those two guys, or well, Early Ermy if he was still alive and around. Yeah, I would have said, hey, you want to come? Hey, Sergeant, you want to come? You know, that would have been great. I mean, that would have been. I mean, Rudy would love that, but Bill Murray would have been my thing, just because they. I remember these people were having a party for something, and they knew he was in town filming or doing something, so they called up the hotline, and they had like an ice cream truck there and everything. And this guy walks up and just, hey, how you doing? It was him, and they're like, or there's a wedding at a hotel, and he just kind of joins in, and he's just there. I love it. I think it's great. I think it's like, you don't see people like that doing that. I mean, you know, I think it's great. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Ghostbusters is my thing. I mean, and that's, you know, and because I love him. And I love the story of Top Gun, the original, and the trailer looks great, but I absolutely cannot deal with Tom Cruise. I've got to like despise relationship with him. I like him as Maverick. It's the only role I've ever liked him in. I don't know why. He's up. I mean, I don't like Jack Nicholson in anything. So, and I got into a downright weird argument with the guy, and I had to block him on Facebook. I'm like, I just don't like him. I think he's overrated. I'm sorry. Nat Parana, how many people want to think that that line about Mr. Stay Puft was ad-libbed? I bet you he ad-libbed that. Murray ad-libs a lot of his stuff. It's true. I mean, he does. I mean, he's amazing. But anyway, so yeah, the Twitterati are very weird right now. The Lucasfilm Twitterati. So I'm kind of giving that rumor a 75% chance of being true. Okay. And it's been real quiet beyond just whatever. And now we got this covered rumor about Lucasfilm wanting Ford and Hamill back. If they might, I mean, that could be just a, do voiceovers, all right? But really, you did? Oh my God, I mean, he's the bomb, you guys. He really is. I mean, I can't say enough about Bill Murray. I was in New York in 2004 for a movie premiere, and we were there for like 4 or 5 days, my friends and I, and it was like, never do that again, by the way. If you go to New York, go with someone you actually like. These people were not my friends afterwards, let's put it this way. If I wish I could find the picture of me and the actor we went to do all that stuff for. You guys are shit. I mean, I got accused of looking like Jessica Simpson. That's how in really good shape I was. No, it's me. I mean, some girl on this website goes, is he dating Jessica Simpson? It's like, oh, Jesus Christ. I'm like, no, it's me. That's me. It was really funny. But anyway, I was there, and it was after Giuliani when Shorty Bloomberg was running the show. And it was great. We felt safe. We felt secure. It was a blast. I went a couple of years ago to meet my sisters, and we did nothing but drink for 24 hours. I was so hungover when I got back. I'm like, see, it's if I jump on the train in Harrisburg, I can be in New York City in about 2 hours or an hour and a half. Okay, it's a real quick trip. And I like it. I mean, when New York is hitting on all 4 cylinders. I have friends up there. There's so much to do. It's just the restaurants are fantastic. It's just amazing. I mean, it's an amazing place. But don't go with people that you don't like. I'm telling you right now. Don't go with people you don't know. When you make reservations at Tony Bourdain's, it's fun, sober or not. I mean, I made reservations the day after I got there for the woman who kind of like she was the owner of this website, and we have done all this stuff for her because she was incapable of doing fucking anything other than fucking with us. Okay. And I made reservations at La Halle, which is Tony Bourdain's French restaurant. And I couldn't get them to order anything. We all sat down and they didn't want to be there. They were rude. They were bitches. I made them eat. I'm like, look, I got these reservations. This is an exclusive restaurant. You guys are going to eat something. So we got finger food to pass around. But fucking bitches. I fucking knew it. Walking out, I said to one of the girls I was hanging out with, I said, those fucking bitches really embarrassed me. Okay, talk about, all right, one actually worked in Hollywood. I'm looking at her now thinking, what a piece of white trash. You're in an exclusive French restaurant and I'm paying for the meal. I'm not going to tell you how much I spent. It was a lot of money. I paid for it. Okay. Wouldn't do anything. I'm like, I can order, why don't we just order appetizers? But let's all get a few bottles of wine. So you can imagine how much that costs because the wine at restaurants are double the price that you get when you buy them at a store. Okay. And I wanted to make sure everybody had a good time. This is New York. You need to experience everything about it. It is the most cosmopolitan, sophisticated city in the world. And you guys are sitting over there like a bunch of three redneck bitches, okay? I mean, God. I was pissed. I was so pissed. I have a very sophisticated palate. When I am out with people, and this happened when I was in Germany and my sister came to visit, and she brought her friend. And German food is good. It's actually my favorite. Okay, then Italian food, then Spanish food. And the reason why I love German food so much is it's kind of like the same stuff I grew up with. And it actually is very sophisticated when you start thinking all of the work it goes into making German potato dumplings, Spätzle, getting it right. And you have to get it right. Potato croquettes, that those are every bit as German as they are French. And I like French food too. But everywhere we would go, and I would find, see, I lived in Berlin, so I kind of knew where to look for the out of the way towny places to eat. So we actually got the real stuff. And everywhere we go, Marty would order Spätzle and cheese because she was on a diet and she wouldn't drink beer. So Mary and I are like shoveling, rouladen and sauerbraten and these various local cuisines because when you go to Germany or even France or to Italy, it's not just what's my background? That's my living room back there. My background is German, Norwegian, Welsh, Scots, and Jewish. But when you're talking about Europe, first off, just because someone's white doesn't mean anything. It's like, what is their heritage? Go to France, and you have Breton food. You have Parisian food, which means the sky's the limit. You've got southern French cuisine. You've got the cuisine of Alsace-Lorraine. You've got Loire Valley, all this stuff, and it echoes each other, but it's not the same. You go to Italy. You've got Calabria, Tuscany. You've got Roman cuisine, Abruzzi, all these places. Then you go to Spain, same thing. Germany, you've got Bavarian. You've got Dresden, which has its own thing. You've got Black Forest, it's all Saxony. You've got Westphalia, all these places. So they've all got their own things. They're different. If you get ham hocks in Bavaria, they're going to be different than the ones you get in northern Germany. Okay, so it's fun not only to try the towny stuff, but when you go to a towny place, like you go to Heidelberg, you order whatever, it's going to be different than the stuff you get in Berlin. Because I lived in Berlin. If you get something in Berlin and you go on the train, go into Austria, and you go to Vienna, I'm going to tell you this. If they're Austrian sitting here, don't get mad at me. You guys are all kind of like, okay? Don't get mad at me for saying that. It's like the Hatfields and McCoys between these two countries. But they eat a lot of the same food, drink a lot of the same beer. You know what I'm saying? But it's different. It's culturally different because they're in countries like Germany, the little local cultures are what make it what it is. Italy, the same thing. Austria, the same thing. Strauss, uh, um, uh, the towns in Austria are vastly different than they are from Vienna. Again, Vienna is a very cosmopolitan, sophisticated. Oh, Spaten is great. Yeah. My favorite was Bitburger uh, elsewhere, and you can get it here. But my very favorite beer of all time will be Königspils from Berlin. I can't explain to you how much I love that stuff. It is awesome on a scale of awesomeness that can't be defined. We would go out and then uh, if we didn't have enough money, let's say like we go out and I had a stipend that I lived on. And I mean, until, the check came through, sometimes you were pretty much, you can't get Königspils here. For some reason, you just can't. You can get Borsteiners, which is good too. But anyway, you go and you have to, you're budgeting your money. So at the end of the week, you're like, I can afford, let's go. This place has got good bratwurst. We'll just eat some bratwurst and get a few Becks. Because Beck's beer is like the Bush beer of the United States. It's cheap. It's not terrible, but it ain't great. And it does the job. I mean, basically, it does the job. I would buy Austrian wine in Berlin because you could get it, and they actually have an Austrian red. My friends and I drank a bottle, and then one of the drunken idiots went out and bought another one there's a little grocery store right around the block from my apartment. We wake up the next morning, and the five of us were so hungover. They were just draped over every piece of furniture. And I'm wrapped up in my bed, and I feel someone poking me. It's my friend. I'm like, what? She's like, and she's from Britain. She drank us all under the table. That's what they do. She's like, Stephanie, I can't. I hear color. And I'm like, oh God. That Austrian wine was shit. That red was shit. Okay, I'm going to tell you that right now. Never do it again. So we got coffee and we wandered around until we were able to find a place with breakfast. And we ate breakfast, and then they all went home. And I didn't see them until Monday morning at work. And everybody was still like, what the hell? A hangover from wine, a bad wine, is really, really bad. But yeah, it was, I mean, but the Austrians have good white wine. Go to the Weinstubes and the vineyards outside of Vienna in the hills, and you can really get some good stuff. In fact, when I went to visit Vienna, because I went twice, I love it. I love that town. I want to go back so bad. There are grape vines that were planted by the Romans that are still alive, still producing grapes. How's for them apples? Yep, up in the hills. Anyway, but back to the rumors and stuff. So I don't, there's nothing really going on. I was actually, we were. I mean, I was screwing. Like I told you guys, I was screwing around today, and I found that BTS documentary with about Warhorse, Tom Hiddleston, and you see Kennedy standing in the background. I took a screenshot, and I think I'm gonna do that, but I gotta rev myself up to look for background pictures of her showing up in odd places. and then we'll do it, and it'll be funny. It'll be really funny. But yeah, that rumor from We Got This Covered, I honestly don't think it's true. I give it like a 10% chance because it's We Got This Covered. But it wouldn't surprise me if it was. Uh, Either. We don't really know. It's just, all this stuff going on. And we're not really hearing anything or seeing anything. I'm just gonna wait till I see Matt Martin take Lucasfilm off of his Twitter. He might not though. I'm gonna tell you guys something. They really don't want us to see what's going on. We'll find out. We might not find out about what's really going on with Kathy. There might just be an announcement that she's leaving, or they'll give her a big send off. But about these guys, we're not going to hear it. There'll be like an announcement saying that there are changes being made, and they might mention the story group. Being people being shuffled around. But the rumors will get worse. Okay. I guarantee you, Kay Hidalgo, Miss Kristen, will not want us to know her husband got fired and that she got fired. But I think I'm going to help her along. Mocking an autistic guy on Twitter. And then she has the balls enough to walk around saying, what a good Catholic girl she is. Okay, Kristen. So anyway, but I'm going to get her for that. I'm going to get her. I'm going to get her big time. But anyway, I just wanted to come on, and I was bored. Like last night, Rebel Force Radio put their podcast up, and I can't. I was tired. I wanted to get to the point, what's going on. What's going on. And they weren't really being, very, they didn't really say anything. Now, if somebody has heard and listened, they can leave a comment. They can leave a comment here, so I can find out what they were talking about. Rebel Force Radio at least has some cachet. They were the guys that Amanda Ward and her friends got barred from having their panel at Celebration a few years ago because they were complaining about the women in Star Wars. There were too many women. And Amanda took offense. So yeah, it's those guys, and I follow them, but I can't. Then there's the rumors about Revan showing up in Acolyte. First off, Acolyte's never going to be made. They're not going to make it. And if they do, they're probably going to put like 5 cents into the budget. And that's it. That's all the money that's going to get. And apparently the story goes is that somebody finds the holocron of Revan. Now, I had heard a rumor that Jon Favreau wanted to do the Darth Bane trilogy. I'm like, no, do Revan first. Revan is more popular. Bane is pretty popular though, and that would be pretty cool, and that story would lend itself to film. But I would love to see Revan. And Darth, Valkorian, and all that. I think that would be cool. But so there's that. That's out there, and where did I see that? Disney. Then there's a rumor that that Disney wants Gina back, but I've talked about that. And I do think that's true. I really, really do. Like I said, that picture of Iger wearing that T-shirt, you know, if he was one of the people wanting her gone, she's poking the bear, and that doesn't help her with getting jobs in Hollywood. All right, so and you can hear my dipshit in the back. Anyway, I gotta go. I just want to stop by and say hi and just put this out there. Don't hold your breath on this. We got this covered news. I'm gonna send that headline to some people just to say, hey, this is showing up here. I give it a 10% yes or no. It's probably bullshit, but again, it wouldn't surprise me either. Anyway, this is Steph. Love you guys. I'll see you around the galaxy. Remember, Echo Base is going live tonight. There'll be a long, long stream. I will try, and I will try to get there so I can go live with them, you know, when they do the drop-ins. Anyway, Steph signing out. I'll see you around the galaxy.